Plat, but against 2 GCs. This should be interesting. Yeah, you're playing with Mertzy. Problem number one, Neato. It's great to play with high-level people, but the difficulty is if you can't keep up to that pace, this is kind of useless for you. It's great to play against people better than you, but if it's too much better than you, then you're just out of place, and it doesn't help. So we'll see how this goes. Because if you don't know how these work, I focus on literally only your perspective, nobody else's. I only focus on the decisions that you make based upon the information that you have or should assume. Okay? Here we go. So far, so good. Card looks good. Interesting kickoff. Savage. Way to support your teammate there. Your moral support really made it difficult for them to... No. So, the one thing is by going at Django there, it does force him to move, which is good, right? So that part's good. Second part, on this, go even wider. Because then it allows Mertz to pass if he wants to. But try to go as far to the side as possible while still making sure your car is facing towards the net. Because if you come across a little bit wider here, and he passes it to you, then you can just push it around. Luckily, he goes for the fake, which is savage. But same result. Nice duckies. I still haven't watched that full video. If you're going to cheat up, cheat up. You need to cheat up and be here, so after this kickoff develops, you can make a play on it. If you're not going to commit to cheating up, go and get boost. You want to get the boost where he comes from. So if they're diagonal kicking here, you're going to cut and go to their boost, or you're going to cheat up to support the play after 50-50 breaks out. If you don't, you're just left in no man land, and probably Django at this point is going to be the first one to get to it, and now you're in a bad spot. So make sure you cheat up, or you go for the boost. One or the other, not a mixture of both. You should be the first one to hear. Jump off, make the hit. If you're not comfortable with it, just practice it. I, as well as another teammate, are going to be more happy that you commit to a decision than doing neither. By doing nothing, it makes it very difficult for him to determine what he needs to do. So the issue, too, is you are the last line of defense. I know this is Grand Champ, so I'm going to judge you like a Grand Champ just because you're going to understand why these things happen. But as you move up here, you are the last line of defense. You're the last one back. Your sole purpose is to push this downfield to Mertzy, because if Mertzy's in a good spot, he can play this up and then they can put a shot in. Great counterattack opportunity. The other option is even if you do touch it subtly, even if it's just a simple hit in any way, as long as you connect with it, that should allow you enough time for Mertzy to get back. So, got to make some sort of connection with it. Have to. Don't be afraid to also slow down on the back wall here. If that goes over you, director cam is not what I wanted, but it'll work. So if that ball goes over you, which it is, don't be afraid to slow down and come here and still stay, because this is eventually going to become near post, and you want to cut off the angle from here all the way over. So if you slow down off the wall and stop here and give yourself space, you still might be able to make an attempt at a save coming across, if you're not going to go up for it here. So if we slow this down. By falling off it, I mean, there's nothing you can do. If you slow down, these tools don't work all the time. So instead, if you slow down, You're coming off at an angle that no matter what happens, you're not going to be able to level off unless you jump and level yourself out. If you just come down off the wall slowly, you can tell is going to try to put a pass somewhere in this area. Pass is either you're going to go here or it's going to go here. You're trying to cut off that angle by moving up here. You can't do either. So try to shadow it, but that's just afterthought. The first thing you should do is definitely challenge it off that wall. You shouldn't allow for that play to develop. So you no longer are covering near post, right? Or technically far post in this position based upon the shot that's about to develop. But you can't cover it because you're off the wall, you're in the air. There's no way for you to recover. And they can literally just shoot it right back where you were. But if you come off that wall at a slighter angle, that shit doesn't develop. Good job. Way to go for it. Don't want to go for the demo there, actually. Ball is in their half. Out of position, committed. If you move that, you now have a 2 versus 1. You guys have moved upfield. Gives you an advantage. As soon as you demo this person and remove them, they now respawn either here or here, which evens the playing field again. So try to dodge that and move upfield. Plus, they're expending a ton of boost to get it. You already got the corner boost. Leaves them kind of no man's land. You actually don't want to demo them there. Let this play develop. You're committing really hard, even though you're never going to win it. Player's already on the ball. Player's rotating through. So this is all covered, or is going to be, by Django. This play is probably going to go and push it here, which then allows them to play it out. Instead, if you play this wider and you sit in this area, you can then make a play on the ball. Plus, Mertzy's already committed. You don't want to double commit it to it. Pushing up too far just leads to a counterattack, so be careful. Right idea. Just have to be a little bit faster. Everything about this play you did is right. You shadowed it back. You're letting it roll up the wall. You still have 78 boost. You technically don't need the 100. The only thing you need to be careful of is K, and you need to get to that ball faster, which you should be able to based on how far ahead you are. If you start here when you're rotating back, which means K is probably back here, you can cut and get that ball. You just have to get to it sooner, otherwise the demo's there. You're very telegraphed about what you're doing, which leads for an easy demo. But you have plenty of boost. You don't need the 100 in the corner. This is a mechanical thing. If you have your car facing this way, the ball is going to hit the side of your car and play this way. So let's say the ball comes in and lands here. If you're facing this way with the ball, with your car on the ground, you're going to trap it. It's going to hit the side of your car and then play to the side, which will then force K to go around. If you can't do that fast enough, try working on drifting. Hold your power slide key to cut a little bit harder. You'll get a sharper angle. That's a lot of timing, knowing when exactly to do that, but it'll force K to go around and catch them off guard. Instead, you jump into it, which doesn't allow you to commit to anything else, and it hits the ball really soft because you're not facing the right direction when you go for it. So for here, you jump. If you actually don't jump on that, so say you stay on the ground instead, and you can see the jump happening right here. But if you don't jump and you just stay on the ground, that ball settles on your car, and now you're still in the area to make a position. You still have your jump available. So you trap the ball and you keep it within your area, or within your possession, you can then jump again after and force a challenge with K if you really want to. Or you can flick it over to the side with more power. But by jumping, you're removing that option. Hits it light. You still get it past, which is good, but you get bumped and demoed for it. K's just a bully. But try to stay grounded on that. You get more possession out of it, and you still have more options based on your jump still being available as well. Nobody pressuring you. Try not to hit that. Wait for it. Okay. So, I want to go here. Put this at like 25. Django's starting to go for it and starts to back off right now. You can see them going the other way, right? As soon as he starts to kind of go that other way, you're committing to the ball by jumping here and from pretty far away. Right? As you just said in chat, you recognize that you're booming away possession to two people that are already committing to going that way. Mercy's moving back because he needs boost. You're throwing possession away, and you're the one who has to kind of just hit and chase it, which you don't want to do. You've been given all this space. Utilize it. There's no need to jump for this. Let it settle. Dribble it upfield. And then when they start to approach you, that's when you want to hit it or flick it over the top because you're now forcing one to challenge and you're moving it downfield and giving yourself a 2 versus 1. So make sure that they commit to the play with your possession with a flick instead of just throwing it away even when they're retreating. But as soon as you jump, you take yourself off the ground, it doesn't help you in any way. Oof, no boost either. Good attempt for recovery. What? This isn't player view. Hello? Why can I view everybody but you? What? 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 Try to do this manually, I guess. Alright. So you're rotating back. You can't get to it, which is fine. You go to boost. You get the boost. Move back around. Try to play this a little bit slower. So Mertzy also had a problem here too. You can tell Mertzy's playing a little bit rushed. So this is kind of both your problems. Mertzy's trying to dodge a demo here, so he goes inside because K's coming across. What Mertzy really wants to do is end up back post and then have you come across and cover near post. You're way too far up to make a play on this because if any shot comes in, there's no way you can get up at that angle. You need to give yourself more space to make a challenge. Unfortunately, you can't go into the net to do that. So make sure you do that by giving your space more time to wind up and go. The more you move in, the less you have at an angle of trying to get the ball. So try to approach a little bit slower. You can see it here. Like, look how far in you are when that shot happens, which now you have to recorrect. You're now backing up. And then you go for the challenge. I don't know if you get this or not. Almost. But luckily Mertzy's there as well, so. Why can't I see your player view? This is really dumb. What the fuck? I'm gonna reload the replay and get you. Let's try this again. trying to think of where we were. Right here. Okay, so we were right here. Good attempt. You force him to take a shot, which is good. And then immediately move up for a challenge. Well done. Probably could have taken the corner boost here, or the side boost here as well. You guys are already moving downfield. Also really low on boost. Don't be afraid to go a little bit wider, get the 100 boost, and then come up on wall. And then you can probably put it down, or you can play it across. But make sure to get that boost over here. Because no matter which way, the reason why you are okay with getting that, even though you may give possession a little bit to Django, by coming wide across, Django is already moving this way. The only thing that Django can do is push it more this way. If you just take the boost and shadow that, you're winning the 50. So don't be afraid to get the boost on this move up. Let Django have it if he needs to. Worst case, he goes back around. You still have boost, you cut off the angle, and that'll allow Mertzy to then come across as well. Good challenge. Don't get the boost, go back to post. Turn around. Get used to using power slide if you need to. Your second jump here is what throws you off. So, you get this challenge, is good. He gets the boost, not a big deal. First jump, great. First jump will put you to about here. As soon as it happens, take this boost and rotate around wide and kind of settle back post. You want to sit basically right here. So jump the first one, get this one, turn around, sit back post. As soon as you jump again, you're committing. You like to jump a lot. Stop. Use power slide more. Even if it's just a subtle turn. As long as you're not jumping, you don't, like every time you jump, you're removing yourself off the ground, which is forcing you to commit to something. Don't do that. You don't want to do that. You jump again here, and you're in trouble. But if you just slow down power slide, you'll be all right. First jump's okay, but you're probably better off just not doing that. You're in a scary spot here. This just isn't your fault. For some reason, people in Grand Champ still go for fake kickoffs, even though they're the dumbest thing in this game. Fake kickoffs are stupid. They never work. The only reason this worked is for a whole different reason that we don't need to talk about. But fake kickoffs are dumb. Fakes the kickoff, goes to a play, hits it up. You should recognize that. This is something that you may not see in your rank. Two problems. Number one. What are you doing? You got 12 boost, and then you moved back into a stale position. Okay. Problems why that's not good. Okay, number one, anytime you are cemented in a spot and you aren't moving, you have no momentum going into a challenge, which means that you're always going to get there second, and you're also committed to an angle. You want to stay moving. The way that this kickoff plays off, you want to do one of two things, as always. The two things that go into a kickoff. Number one, cheat up. So you either want to cheat up, support that position, or go for boost. This takes too long. Go get boost. What probably should have done, it doesn't matter which way you go, whatever way you're more comfortable with, go and get the corner boost. Then go back to net. So make sure you go to boost. Go get boost, okay? The reason why you do that as well, 141. So if you start back here, you go get boost. You snag the boost, you move back. The benefit of always staying moving and staying at supersonic is look how much faster you can get to the ball than staying still. It's why pros are so good at recovery. It's why pros are so fast on the field. It's because they never stop moving. They are always continuously moving. The benefit of moving like this and always being at a faster pace, it allows you to get to the ball faster. When you make a challenge, you're going to get there sooner. It is denying the time and the space to the opponent. So the issue with just sitting here, I can't cover near post or far post. Am I just supposed to jump across like this? That's not going to help. You want to cover the back post and then move into it so you can jump and then take a hit with it. If you're here and you're trying to make that save, you've got to like turn, jump, and then go for the hit, which isn't going to work. It's going to be shot on target by them. So make sure you're trying to stay moving, and that's why we say go back post. The benefit of going away from the ball, so if the ball, which in your circumstance was coming from over here, the benefit of going back post is when that play comes in, say they shoot near post, which is this post, you have the ability to now build up some momentum to it, jump, make a jump, and then jump into it and try to make a hit. Rule of thumb is always rotate back post and make sure you're never staying still. You need to make sure you're continuously moving because you're going to have speed coming into the play, which allows you to then get to it sooner, or let alone at all, because there is a lot of times where if you're not going full pace, you can't make it to the ball. So try to make sure you're always moving. It's going to allow you to carry momentum. You're going to see like when the ball is like, you'll see it a lot in ones in high level play. Say the person's like dribbling the ball this way and I'm on defense. When I'm on defense, I'm not standing still. I'm slowly moving the same way they are. So when the ball gets close enough to me, I just stop going as fast and then I can challenge it. So to hopefully give an example, let's go back into the replay. Hopefully this makes sense. Not what I wanted. Let's do this. Nope. Fly cam on nothing. Ugh, I hate this. All right. So when the ball is being played, no, I hate this spectator. It's so different from what I've been doing with PUBG. All right. So when you're playing in a game, if it is you versus K, right? If K is dribbling the ball this way, and there's this much space between you two, what your sole purpose here is to either A, close the gap. You're trying to remove the amount of space between you two so you can make a challenge and touch the ball, create a 50-50. Or B, you are trying to go for the save. So you're either trying to challenge it, right? Or you're trying to save it. The difference being a challenge is forcing a 50-50. You are trying to make sure that this space is not as big. You want to be in a position to make sure that you can actually jump into the ball and create a 50-50. As for a save, you're trying to give yourself the advantage in the space game. And you do that by going backwards into the net. The Gibbs method, right? If this person's coming and they're dribbling the ball, say K has the ball like here, right? And K's moving it downfield. Eventually, it's going to get to a point where instead of K having advantage of the space, because you're further back or you're back post, you now have advantage in the space between you and the ball as compared to K has between them and the ball, which gives you an advantage, right? Does that make sense, Neato? Also, Killer, thank you for the host, buddy. How you doing? Hopefully, chat and people in the comments for this video, it also makes sense for you. But I hope that makes sense. So you're either playing for the challenge, which is slowly moving forward, or if you're close, at moving backwards until you get to the point where you could create a 50-50. Or if you're trying to make the save, worst writing ever, you're trying to make sure that the space between the ball and where K is shorter than the ball and where you are. Because then you have more space to approach and make that challenge. And that's also why on defense, you want to also do that same situation. When you're on defense, the benefit of going back post is you're creating space between you and the ball being brought in. If you go near post, they have that advantage in that space, which allows them to flick. They basically dictate or determine when that's going to happen, which puts you in a rough spot. But if you have more space, then you dictate that. Spacing is everything when you're on defense. Hope that makes sense. If not, I may have to do tutorial videos on it or something. I don't know. But because you're too far away, right now you're neither. You're hungry for boost. So because you're hungry for boost right now, K's got a free shot. Fake kickoff works. I've never had spacing described like that. That makes so much sense. I'm glad it helps, Tickle. It's a very simple concept, but until it's explained in a way you understand, it might be complicated. Uh-oh. That's a double. Ooh, he missed. Will he miss his? Also misses his. 2 double touches, mistakes. Let's see what you're supposed to do here. So you're cheating up. Doesn't work out. You back off. You go back into the net. Don't be afraid to go further back in. Same thing with that spacing. This touch you're not going to get. Not a big deal. You don't have any boost. Because of that, you need to give yourself more space. Go further back into the net. No. Play develops. Work on your kickoffs when you get the chance. That one's fine because you guys are moving possession, but this one here, go in here, turn around. Right before you go up the wall. Turn around at this back wall here. This thick of a line doesn't work. But if you do it on this line here instead, you're giving yourself this extra bit of space in the goal to work with to move up towards the ball. Especially with 0 boost, that's a huge difference. It's going to allow you to make a better challenge on the ball. By cutting off that angle, you're giving them advantage again. Again, throwing away. It's a good pass, I guess, to Mertzi. At the same time, he needs to be in a better position, I guess, on that as well. So be careful with how playing that across. Good read on the challenge. Hopefully your recovery allows you to put this away. Good. Good job. Shot could have been a little bit more accurate, but he had follow-up. Good job. Good challenge. I think Mertzi just makes a good solo player. Yeah, I don't know what K's doing on that one. Make sure you're picking up those small boost pads. You do it afterwards, but you can always do it sooner. Corner boost. Cheat up. Say it with me. Corner boost or cheat up. Got to do one or the other. This doesn't help anybody. Because now you're running with no boost. During that hit you just had to bring this up the wall, you had 16 boost. If you would have had full, you would have been at about 72. Because you would have used a little bit, the 16, and then you would have been on the ball roughly with 30 gone. So figure about 70, 72 boost. Now you have none. Get the corner. Yep. Jump for that. This one might take a little bit longer to learn. So you cheat up fine here. Cheat up there is great. Your only job here is to get to this first. Turn on it as quickly as you can. If you can't get it cleanly off the wall, preemptively jump to the wall. Don't roll up. Jump to the wall and pinch it off the wall and try to hit it that way. Make sure you're a little bit more to the left of the ball when you do it. So the way that bounces, jump here, hit that ball, pinch it on this side, and play it that way. Instead, you get more boost. Sometimes it's okay though. Like if you're not comfortable with you getting something, it's never a bad idea to go back onto defense. There's times where you need to make a challenge, but rule of thumb, if you don't feel comfortable doing something, if things aren't going well, go back to net. Go back post. You'll be all right. You don't get the boost in the corner, which you need. I'm pretty sure there's a corner boost there. It's just not showing in the replay, but you have 21 boost. You're already rotating back. No matter what happens, Django isn't going to be able to get a score on this. He's facing the wrong way. K's already committed. Continue going down the line and get the corner boost. Go back to 100. Plus it baits Mertzi. Thanks. So you both go for it. You get called off. Not a big deal. So that doesn't work. You can still cheat up there if you feel like it. The only difficulty with that is your very minimal boost when you do it. So through here, if you cheat up on this, that's a good kickoff for you because K is going in boost, right? You both go for it, so already it's kind of botched, which is difficult. But if you want to do that, just let Mertzi continue to go and then be in a position. Don't use any boost going up to it. Conserve what you would have left. You start with 33. If you use half of that, you're still at about 18, which should be plenty to make a play if you need to, just for the initial hit to buy Mertzi time. So if you're leading into this, you both go for it. It's fine. Back off. Now you can go get boost. One small boost pad. Use it. No boost pad. Use it. That whole time you were hovering above 30 at most the whole time. I also think I heard you quick aerial here. Did you? I gotta slow this down to see it. That was almost a really good touch from Django. So you let it settle, which is fine. You turn on it, which is good. So you double jump here. You can hear it by the audio. You're going to listen to it with me. One bump, second jump. You hear that second pop? 1, 2. You're not even off the ground when you're using your second jump. Rule of thumb for quick aerials or for a double jump. The mechanic itself, you want to hold the button and then press it again. By holding the button, you will jump higher. So to just double click it really fast is never a good idea in the first place. Second thing with a quick aerial, when to actually use it, the only time you should actually use a quick aerial is if you are trying to beat someone to the ball. Facing this way, miss the aerial, going back this way. It's just you and the ball. So there is no reason to use a quick aerial. What you should do is jump and then use your second jump to hit this with power that way. That way you get it clear out of it. Instead of when you double jump, you're committing to whatever way you're moving. There's no room for correction unless you have boost, which you didn't get earlier. So you can't do that. As soon as you double jump, you're just lofting yourself this way. And that's why this happens. Okay. If you save your second jump, you now have the ability to hold forward and jump into it this way, which then puts power on the ball to bring it out. Right? So make sure you only use that second jump. It is a timing thing. It is a situational awareness thing. It takes a lot of practice to know that from right and wrong, but something to get into the mindset of. Am I going to win to the ball? No matter how I play this, will I get to the ball first? If the answer is yes, I don't need to quick aerial. If I am trying to beat somebody to the ball and it is an equal challenge, then yes, I should quick aerial. That's kind of the mindset you want to have when going for quick aerials. I will show you after this replay, remind me on how to do a quick aerial in the easiest way. Shout out to Jake from Oceania. His tutorial on it is perfect. Turn on it, good. Good pass to the middle. Unfortunately, Mertzy was backing off. I like the idea. Unfortunately, you should see right there that Mertzy is committing really far right. So you have this touch here. We're going to slow it down so I can show you. Okay, plays it off the back wall. Not a problem. You wrap back around. But you're going to see it with Mercy here. He is going to jump and fly to go get boost. Right now. Okay. He's committed very far that way. So if you take this touch and play it here, there was no one there to make the play. You should either try to take a quick shot because it's a wide open net. Make sure you hit it with the corner of your car. Yeah, you should have taken a shot there. And I don't know if that's just a mechanical mishap or what. But you could have scored here. If I show your perspective, that would help. Again, if you just jump up, try to match it, try to get around it. So you want to be roughly here when you hit the ball. But if you use this corner and you jump into it, you should put power on it and put that in the net. You should be able to score this. Jump. If you want to really get in video, I know which video of Jake you're talking about. I'll have to watch it again. I'll show you after just in case for people in chat who haven't. Or for people watching the YouTube video. But if you actually want to do this perfect, if you're talking the highest level how they would score this shot, they would jump up, they would air roll backwards into the left. They would air roll this way so that their nose is a little bit higher. So instead of your car being this way, your wheels would be here. How do I do this? I can't draw. Wheel would be here. No, wheel would be like here. Car would be like, like here, I guess. The wheel would be lower. And then your nose would be up more. So like your nose would be here. So when you air roll into the ball, it's bringing downward force and power across into the ball. Kind of hard to explain without actually doing it in game. But you want to air roll backwards and down to the side. And then when you tilt forward, you're basically air rolling before your shot. So when you flip forward, you apply more power. That would be the ideal circumstance on doing that. But even if you just jump, you're trying to get elevation and then jumping and hitting it with your corner. Because the corner of your car is going to put the most power towards the net. So all you're doing is jumping up this way, air rolling, hitting with your nose that way. Playing it into midfield, you can't do because Mertzy's committed to the right side. The other thing, too, is even if you don't hit it, even if you do hit this differently, the biggest thing you need to make sure is it's not hitting the top of your car, because hitting the top of your car just kind of settles it. If you hit it with anywhere in your nose, it's going to apply a little bit more power, and Mertzi should be able to turn and see that if he's got ball cam on, which he probably does. Difficulty with that is it settles a little bit too hard in the midfield. So be careful with that. Nice. Way to get up for it. Go back wall. Good. You still force something to happen there. Obviously, the challenge didn't come out, but the nice thing about going up on the wall here is you're forcing Django to make a play. So by going up here, he now has to respect the fact that you're there. If Django would do this, probably the ideal moment is he would come into the wall here and then play that out into the midfield for his teammate. He's a greedy little boy, though, so he doesn't. Pass those, Django. You got a free goal if you do. Or is it I'm critiquing Django's because he's in chat, too? Good clear. I get that you threw away the possession, but with the pressure that's on you guys right now, I'm okay with you just smacking it downfield. Careful with how far you cheat up. You want to give the option of a pass. So when this ball is developing, right? Ball plays up. You commit to it because he gets bumped and he's not able to go there. But the same thing that I tell all the other players that are in the kind of Plat area is you are not playing the ball, you're not playing the other team, you are playing the support role of your teammate. You wait for the play to develop and then you go. So by you moving this close, you're now committing 2 players to 1 spot. So if anything bad goes wrong, you're both out of position, right? If you stay further away, so if you don't use your boost here, and you stay further back, probably this area, you're now leaving it open to 3 things. 1, you can still recover. If you need to, you're still in a spot so where you can rotate back. You can go get boosts. You can do whatever you want. 2, you're open for a pass. If Mertzi does correct this and he passes it out into the midfield, he now can play that away, and you guys can bring it downfield. And for the third thing, you can still play defense, right? By getting too close, you're committing 2 players to the ball, which is just asking for bad things to happen. So be careful with that. You got Goomba Stomps. Luckily, Mertzi's there to save the day. Go back post. Good. There you go. Cleaner. Much cleaner. Get the boost. Back wall. So Mertzi, I understand his... So Mertzi's difficulty here is Mertzi's trying to rotate back. He's trying to go back and around. As soon as you go up on that wall, you need to cover this area on the back wall. Let me give you a better angle. So as soon as you go on that back wall, your sole purpose is to cover here. That's basically what your job is. So as you're rotating back here, go up a little bit higher because that just removes this as an option, right? Mertzi will eventually rotate around and cover this area. But if Django's committing to that, your job is to come up here, and then when he goes for, so based upon the air dribble I see, his air dribble is going to go like this. If you cover this, all you have to do is make sure that you go up on the wall and then jump off and try to make a save. So make sure you commit to that. By falling back down in this area, you don't really give yourself too many options. So stay on the back wall. Ooh. The sooner you commit to those, the better. Flip resets are a pain in the ass if you're on defense. If you've never been, I guess, experienced with them, especially with you rotating back, this is a really rough position to be in. If you're rotating back, you want to move and jump up and try to cut off this angle as quickly as possible. Because if K gets a flip reset, it's going to go over you either way. You're basically just trying to remove K as a threat. So if you see Mertzi's route moving back, you're in the better position here, so it is your purpose to go and challenge that. So turn on it, Go make the challenge. Hopefully Mertzi then has time to get in a better position to make the save. Luckily for you guys, it works out either way. You then support him, which is good. Gets the fake. You were in a good spot for a pass. Unfortunately, didn't get the pinch. Got to go up on the wall and commit that. Big thing for you, just get used to the wall play. So there's 0 seconds left. The way that you want to play this is you want to boost and get to the wall to meet that. So when it hits the wall, you're there to pinch it and play it back downfield. There's 0 seconds left. You have to go for every attempt you can without punching your mic pop filter like I just did. And try to make a play so you can give yourself a chance, because ball's done when it hits ground. And by being in that awkward position with the ball above you, underneath, it's very, very difficult to make a play. So make sure you go and try to get up on that back wall. Get used to using the wall. Makes a big difference. Other than that, I can tell that you're not Grand Champ playing against Grand Champs. The pace is a lot more than I think what you expected. But big things. Please work on your kickoff, whether it be going for the kickoff or otherwise. There's two major kickoffs. There's kind of like the scrub killer and the quick kickoff. The easiest way is when you're on a diagonal. From here. Drive forward and boost. When you get about here, diagonal flip while boosting to try to land on the side of the ball to push it past. The other option is you can just jump straight forward, land here, turn, and then jump into it and push it forward. So to make sure the ball is between you and your goal and you're pushing it towards their goal. If you're not going for the kickoff and you're cheating up, make sure you cheat up. You want to end right about here-ish to make a play on the 50-50. If you're not doing that, go for a corner boost. You need to. Staying in this general area is not good. The other thing then, and the thing that I said I would do, is quick aerials. Quick aerials can be used for numerous things. The number one thing is to make sure you get to the ball first. The whole point of doing a quick aerial is to get to the air quickly. Quick aerial, air quick. Makes sense, right? Easiest way to do them, and the easiest way to know, is the mentality to have is, am I trying to beat somebody to the ball? If the answer is yes, do a quick aerial. If you are going to win the ball no matter what, if there is no one pressuring you, if you're just trying to do something, use that second jump to put power into your hit. So go for the aerial and then jump into it. You'll put more power, it'll clear it harder, it'll get it out of your half. Easiest way to do a quick aerial without fucking up, before you even take off for the aerial, hold down on your analog. As you start moving, jump and jump again. You let go of down when you're roughly vertical. It's a timing thing. It'll take time to get used to, but if you do it right, it looks like this. You can't fuck it up. It's pretty easy. All you're doing is holding down, jump, and then jump again. Practice that. Drive forward while holding down, jump, jump again. You just have to get down the timing of when to let go. Once you get comfortable with that, add boost.